if you need to record anything over the internet, I cannot think of a more seamless way than Riverside to do it.
Imagine having an enemy that has a position of influence in your child's life and knowing that that person sends you notes and messages every now and then. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, that boy is dead.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real thing. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Really? You stand on red carpets with and you sell an image of lies. Then you influence the public and ask the public to covet and want your life. Who wants that? Who jealous of that? A bunch of whack too afraid to find a real man and real love. So you marry a get for a Birkin bag and then turn your head while he's fucking a bunch of kids. I don't feel sorry for none of you bitch. Don't y'all sit around writing your books, telling your sob stories. He was a going in. You should have known he was going to be a You married that and made babies with it. Look at Nicki Minaj. You got bitch and marrying level 3 sex offenders. And do you know since then, she done moved out. She don't live at the house they was living at no more. Kenneth there by herself. She literally got him a zoo. And she fills it with sex who don't mind rough sex. And she lives in another house with the baby. But he's supposed to be the primary custodian, which is why he ain't in jail where he's supposed to be, because he got to take care of the baby. But the only thing he's taking care of is making new victims. Who watching Papa Bear? I thought that's why he was here. Speaking of missing children, Tasha K, where are your kids? Because word on the street is you ain't got time to raise children. We already know that girl is Sheck, baby. You ain't had that child in quite some time. And you sent little Teddy to Africa with your husband people. What? You a married woman and you ain't got time to raise your kids? But you want to talk about mine all day, huh? That boy is under 10 years old being raised by Africans that you don't really know. For all you know, that little boy is playing in a pile of monkey shit right now. You don't know. Wrestling with rhinos shit. You don't know. Where your kids, bitch? You busy running around trying to blackmail Kevin Hart for cheating on his wife when we all know he likes penis? Maybe you would have got that 250 if you would have told the truth. But you want to hold him to the fire over some shit you know ain't real. That ain't real. His mail order Bangkok bride. While he's looking so safe, laying in the Rock's arms, being cradled like a baby. What do you mean?
Okay. You
want to expose that he cheated on his wife with a man that would have sold. I ain't getting no fuck about no fake. Tell us the real. You supposed to be Tasha K. You supposed to have all the wine. And the wine and the wine. Tell him he's a f***ing bitch.
So
I'm gonna need to smoke. I gotta take my meds.
yeah, hold on, wait. I gotta ask you, Jag, real quick.
33% THC. That's my medicine.
We're gonna take a little break. Oh, but hold on, wait, real quick. I have to ask because you mentioned sex workers.
Yeah.
And that word is getting thrown around a lot lately. And we see that 50 Cent is going at Diddy because his baby mother, I believe Daphne, is listed in a lawsuit as a sex worker for Diddy.
She a hooker, a Diddy bop.
Oh, man.
She was a Diddy bop first. He just didn't know that.
Oh. Dude, are the circles
you
that
must
small?
feel stupid as shit, Curtis. He sent bitch right to you. She didn't send the herpes. He didn't bring it, you know. I hope that didn't come with. That would explain why you would be a little salty, though. You know, maybe you'd be posting on them outbreak days. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. But the post was funny as I've been reposting. 50 been on a tear.
50 been on a tear.
You know?
He has reason.
Diaper rash will make cranky.
One more question before we take this break. Can you name some people?
It's crazy.
In the Hollywood or the industry that are upstanding that you would be like, there's no smut on their name. They were just good people.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a couple people?
I have. Terry Lynn Carrington.
Okay.
My very good friend, who's worked with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for many years, Don Clemens. The Baylors, Gene and Marcus Baylor. Gene from Jeanne. Amazing. There are lots of people. I just don't like talking about them all the time. My girlfriend, Natalie Stewart in London.
Right.
Her and her husband, Maddox, exemplary artists and people. I mean, I could give you a list, but you know what happens when I start talking about them? People start stalking them and hounding them and pressuring them, which is why my online life and my real life are absolutely separate.
Right.
Want to know what happens when that doesn't happen? When I don't protect people? My girlfriend gets called and said that she need to keep me away from her family because I'm marked for death and I'm gonna get her family killed. And I'm a piece of I used to husband while I was living at her house, even though I don't know never met the bitch.
Okay.
Or the guy that I'm dating, his entire criminal record and prison record gets put up and I didn't know nothing about it because these net trolls are that relentless. Best example, the last time I was here, you asked me about artists to watch out for.
Correct.
And there was one that I mentioned that I kind of downplayed.
Church.
Oh, she said, don't give it too much. That's, what's the name?
Jay French.
Jay French. My
Church.
God.
The
My God.
mixtape.
That's out now.
It debuted a month ago. Number 2 on the iTunes rap charts worldwide. Only beaten by Kanye West. Independent.
Come on now. Let's go. Jay French, man. If you don't know, y'all ain't on game. Which brings me to my next question real quick before we... 50 years of hip hop. Do you feel that it was done justice as far as the acknowledgement of the 50 years?
Nowhere near it. When you look at the redacted list of greatness in hip hop, people should have been acknowledged for what they were at the time they passed on the list. Honestly, everyone that passed is the list.
Come on, man. Big L.
The list.
Come on. Notorious Tupac.
The the list. Biggie Smalls, the list.
Yeah.
Takeoff, the list.
No.
Pop Smoke, the list.
Man.
King Von, the list.
Oof.
Like,
No, these greats, yeah, Mo 3, these
you can
greats.
pick 20 of the last motherfuckers died in the last 20 years, and that's the best of hip hop. Gone.
Think about it. Think about it. No, it's funny.
Lying mother. And if you remember, before I started being arrested and stuck in the net and stuck in my ass with Haldol and Philadelphia's main aim was to expose the actual true list
Very true,
for the 50th anniversary.
without question.
And yet, my company was torpedoed and footage scattered, gone to the wind. I'm jailed, hospitalized, and people trying to get me to say that I'm schizophrenic.
It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode, but for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys.
And get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody to him up just so he couldn't have a good night. You, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Because you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why.
That's a good break. That's a good break. We're gonna break right there.
Hi, we're Visible. We're the wireless company with nothing to hide. Seriously, hidden fees?
Do you guys have any stories of what you've seen in O-Block over the years? I noticed you had bear mace on you. Have you already used it?
I use it a few times. To be able to be a big brother to these brothers, to be able to show them that it's more to just the streets.
Who is?
Tommy G.
Yo. Hey,
Nice to meet you.
I'm Gleese, man. Welcome to this place they call O-Block, you see what I'm saying? Shout out to Muslimatics and my
I'm
boy.
gonna go on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia.
I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
You are?
Man, I'm going to Mecca, touch the Kaaba, all that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Chicago's O-Block is one of the most notorious housing projects in the country. O-Block has been home to many notable people throughout its history. Chief Keef, King Vong, Little Dirk, and even former First Lady Michelle Obama. The apartment complex is located on 64th and MLK Drive on Chicago's South Side. It was built in 1950 to house the influx of African Americans coming to Chicago during the Second Great Migration. Upon its opening, it was celebrated as the first African American co-op in the country, and it was noted for having high quality and spacious units relative to the other low-income housing on the market. As the ownership of the co-op went private in the 1980s, the quality of the units began to decline and violence in the area increased as jobs moved overseas and drugs flooded the streets. In 2011, O-Block earned its name in honor of 20-year-old resident O.D. Perry, who was shot dead by a rival gang member. From then on, O-Block's infamous reputation as a dangerous area began to spread around the country, and it's since been known as one of drill rap's ground zero locations. As of recently, a new movement has been growing in O-Block, Islam. I learned about this from 2 Muslim YouTube channels, and this got me connected to Gleesh, an O-Block Muslim spreading the word on his faith. It brings the question, is this the movement that can bring peace and safety back to the area? Let's hit the streets and explore this more.
More money, more problems, but bitch, I ain't tripping cause I want it all. My head has been robbing, my head has been trapping, trying to get the shit off.
Folks, we're on our way to the notorious O Block to explore a very interesting story that's been developing, which is a large conversion to Islam by many of the residents. And I'm curious to discover the impact Islam is having on O Block, because to me, you know, you might disagree with a lot of things about religion, but I do think religion gives you the old school values that people can agree on, like don't steal, don't covet, don't lust, things that can guide your life and are solid advice. I grew up in a really religious family. I attended a mega church when I was a kid, Willow Creek, South Barrington, an enormous place that they literally have a shuttle bus from your parking spot to the front. That's how big this church is. While some Bible stories I find helpful or meaningful,